There you go. What do you got down there, Verity?
Dog prints. Dog print. Another dog print. Finally found some dog prints. There's got a couple over here.
Yep. So they've come in.
Had a drink and gone off somewhere.
Well, they went into the yards because we had them on camera. So they've come in from the south down here.
Yeah.
And they've wandered up. So we've got their tracks heading that way because they've had a little bit of a look. You can see the prints heading out that way. So let's walk along this side of the road and see if you can pick up the tracks before we get to our trees. Alright, g'day, good morning. Today Verety and I are out on the job. Yesterday evening, so around 6:15 in the evening, Jasmine beat everyone else to the punch, and when checking the cameras she noticed Uncle Patrick's dogs coming in to jump up. So Verety and I are on our way down now to go have a little bit of a look around where they've been, but also our intention is to drop a couple of baits out for these dogs so that the next time they come in they won't be a problem on the calves. So yeah, we geared up. Verity won't be anywhere near the baits. That's, you know, it's just common sense. And yeah, we're going to have a look around where these dogs were, then work our way down to Parsons, swap a battery out because I kind of want to pinch one of those ones, and then go grab the power trailer from the exploration camp. So today we have got our InReach Mini with our logging and tracking going. So that's InReach Mini 2. That sends out a blip every 10 minutes and it's got our past activity. So Jasmine and Uncle Patrick and anyone else we've shared that map with can log in and see where we are. And if we need to, we can send messages to and from it. But we also have our Starlink. So yeah, we're gonna crack into it. It's going to get very, very warm today. It's expected to get over 40 surprisingly late in the day, but that could be very wrong. So yeah, let's crack on and see what today brings us. So we're down here at Jump Up, and as you can see it's very, very green. It's quite lush and looks pretty awesome. We've got a couple of cattle hanging around the area. And yeah, what are we here to do, Verity?
Put some baits around.
Yep, and we're going to have a look for where the dogs have come from.
And we're going to put them around where the dogs have been, and we're going to dig holes to put them in.
Yep, and why do we dig the little holes?
So the cows can't find them.
Yep, but also the fresh disturbance in the soil is something that the dogs get very interested in. And I found when doing targeted baiting, doing a little bit of a dig, and if I had a bit of canola oil, that's got a very strong scent. So what we're going to do first up, Verity, is we're going to walk over to where we saw them come in on the camera. So they came in from over near the trees. We're going to have a look for an indicator to see if one of the dogs had marked his territory, because that'll be a very good target spot. So we're going to go around now with just our shovel to mark up our sites, and then I'll go around and I'll put the baits out. All right, let's go see if we can find some dog tracks, kid.
Yep.
None around this tree?
No, it looks like these ones are all cow prints. Yeah, these are all cow prints.
You got to watch where you're stepping as you go, just so you don't cover any tracks that you might have missed. So be very sure of where you put your feet. Right, let's have a look at some of these other trees here.
Mhm.
Some lizard tracks there.
Yeah.
Dogs do like to chase the lizards and the birds.
Yeah.
Big bung arrow footprints just here.
Mhm.
Can you see anything around here that might let you know that the dog's been here?
No.
How about we come around this side? Oh, a little bit difficult to tell from this angle because of the angle, but that there looks like we've got some urine on the ground. So we could be looking at a spot that the dog had been and come up and marked his territory. But let's go have a look at some of these other trees and then we'll look at the track where we saw them come across.
Mhm. And then if we find something, we'll put the baits where the dogs have been.
Let's go look at this lonely tree over here.
Yeah.
Steady. Watch your footing. Be very sure that you don't have any dog prints there before you go across.
Doesn't look like we've got any dog tracks here.
Okay, well, let's go to where they crossed the road.
Yeah.
Where do you reckon they would have crossed the road, Verity?
Oh, somewhere over there. Because there's lots of prints over there.
How about we have a look at that track there, that cattle pad. Dogs will take the easiest path. See if on the soft ground between the road and the edge, we've got any dog prints. And then we'll go look at the puddles and see if there's any there.
The footprints are getting lighter.
Yeah, it's because it's harder ground. Can't see any obvious dog prints on the soft stuff back there.
No.
Oh, let's go have a look at this puddle. What we got there?
I don't know what sort of bird that is.
It's a crow.
Crow.
Mm.
That means dogs do like killing animals.
Yeah, but that one's already dead. They haven't gone for that, but they might have had a sniff because I can see some bird feathers over here. Maybe they've had a look around there and maybe they picked something up. There's a track they might have come in on, so let's go have a look over in that area to see if our dogs had anything to do with that.
Yeah. I did see a cow back there had a good slip in the mud. Because it had its footprint was slipped. There are lots of bird feathers.
A lot of activity around this corner. A lot of cattle tracks, isn't there?
Mostly we've only been seeing cow, lizards and more cow prints.
Well, the dogs are pretty light, so it's hard to see their prints in this, especially when it's harder ground.
Yeah.
More likely to pick them up in sand or next to the mud. There's an emu print down there.
Yeah.
There you go. What have you got down there, Verity?
Dog prints. Dog print. Another dog print. Finally found some dog prints. So it's got a couple over here.
Yep. So they've come in.
Had a drink and gone off somewhere.
Well, they went into the yards because we had them on camera. So they've come in from the south down here.
Yeah.
And they've wandered up. So we've got their tracks heading that way. Because they've had a little bit of a look. You can see the prints heading out that way. So let's walk along this side of the road and see if you can pick up the tracks before we get to our trees. Right, let's walk along until we get to some ground that we can actually read the prints on.
Dog prints. Look. This one's here.
That's a calf.
Ah, car.
Is that a calf or a dog print?
Maybe.
That's a hoof.
Hoof?
You've got the bug now. You want to find them, don't you?
Mm.
Right, let's cruise along.
See how they've been slipping?
Yep.
Those definitely seem like big normal cow dog prints.
Very, very faint, but I've got prints here.
Of dogs.
Yeah. Might be hard to see it on the angle,
I can see one
but
here.
I've got prints here.
And one here.
Yep.
Ow.
See if we can half capture that on the camera. So they're cruising up this way. You go along there. You follow that road. If you've got any other tracks, let me know. You're gonna have a look over near this fallen tree. You keep going along the road. Alright, so I'm picking this one out of all of these ones in this little group as the one that I'm going to target for the first bait. Might not look like that much, but I reckon this is one that's been getting marked up by the dogs because it's got a bit harder to see it, but you can see that there is urine on the ground. So all I do is a very small shovel, particularly where they've been marking, because it'll be a change in their scent, and they'll come and investigate. And if there's a bit of food there, well, they'll go for it. So it's not a big effort, it's just literally a small scrape, and I pile the dirt just to the side, and you soften the soil up because they like an easy feed. So that's done the soil disturbance. Now we're going to work our way back towards the yards themselves. They did mark around that, so we'll find a tree up there, and then yeah, I'll toss these baits in.
Right, let's go.
Let's go. When we're doing blanket baiting, it is very often that we will go along each trail coming in to a water point, and we'll mark, well, you know, bait up all of those. So the dog's taking the trail that has got the scent and, you know, a bit of potential feed on it, they'll yeah, find a bait hopefully. This one we're going a little more targeted, so we are just specifically picking which spot we'd like to put our baits on. And so we'll put one that's about 200 metres away, then we're going to be putting one that's around 20 metres away. Right, so we'll track along here, Verity.
Yep.
You want to go nice and close to the shade there on that rail, because that's where they walked. You want to scan about 1 metre either side of where you're walking. Now the thing that they also often do is they'll come up and they'll have a look at the camera box because it's a different smell, and they'll mark those up as well. I reckon I might just sneak one in down here.
Yeah, and like down there.
And we got to some moisture, so that'll be even more of a smell. Right, I'm going to start the car up and get the aircon running for Verity. And I'm going to toss these baits around. And then we will be on our way to the next little job. Alrighty, we had the camera overheat just at the end there. So it is warm, but got those baits out into their sights, so I'm happy with that, and made sure there's a little bit of an extra scent near the dogweed tree, as we were calling it. The other advantage is that one will be covered by the camera, so we will be able to see activity if they do it during sort of the daylight hours. Now I like specific targeting of things like the dogs. When we've got like 2 individuals there, we've gone out and we've put a specific number of baits out. They're in a very memorable location, so in time I can go and assess if they have been taken. One of the other risks is that a lizard will take them, but see if they have been taken. If they haven't been taken, and after by about 2 weeks, I'll get them and I'll just burn them to dispose of them, because they sort of lose their efficacy, and you want to make sure that there's no chance that that's going to stay or remain toxic in the environment. So that's that follow-up rather than our blanket baiting, which is not very targeted. I'd like to come and sneak down here and camp up with the thermals and quietly shoot them one morning or one evening, but they aren't coming in every day. So that could be quite the mission. So yeah, that's that. So instead of targeted by shooting, we're doing some specific targeted baiting. Right, we're going to continue on and see what we see on this nice warm day. Right, so here we are at Parsons, and there is no shortage of water. That is chock-a-block. We haven't had to go through any puddles on our way here, but I'm going to tap the dipstick, flick him back up, and then we'll get over there and pinch this battery. Well, that appears to be the height that it is. So we'll just double check and make sure that that the tank is full on the screen of the pump controller. Not that we've got an issue somewhere. It could just be that we need to drop the float sensor down a little bit. And yep, we're good. I can see those bright lights saying that it's tank full. Right, well, time to have a look in there and grab a battery. So Verity has noted that there's not many flies around today, and that is due to the heat. Now, humidity has significantly dropped off these last few days. So yeah, it's that sort of nice dry heat. We had a couple of dry wind days where it just blew it all away, and it's made it a lot more bearable. What you looking at?
Oh, I found a little yellow flower down here in the grass. This one down here.
Looks like some sort of succulent.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to climb up that and have a look inside the box, and then yeah, have a look at pulling the 2 batteries out, because this is the first one I actually put a lithium out on. I was originally testing with AGMs, but It's 215 amp hours or 7.5. I can't remember. We'll have a look when we get up there. Right, let's see what we've got up here. Manpower. Ooh. So some pretty good quality old ones down here. An old UAP, and the last one of these that's still working. Can I pass you this, big girl? Thanks, kid.
I saw them drop on the floor because you let them go down.
Alright, we are back in the car because that unit up there has Bluetooth. Now, I am just going to change its programming so it knows that it's got that. Right, so it's showing us what we're pumping in, and it's got the load output, which is kind of cool because it's able to run off all of that. Can look at our history of its usage, 250 odd watt hours a day, and it's yielding. No, it doesn't actually have our usage. I know, yeah, so it is there, we're all good. I'm not going to do those updates. Maximum charge current, yep, she's all that. See what our load output on that was. Yeah, we'll change you to 14.8 and bring you up to 12.1. Okay, so that should be all good to go. We should have plenty Wi-Fi here. And we will log out of the application and just go to standalone because we're not running off the car internet. Camel is online, so we're good. And we'll whip down to Parsons, and that little adjustment I made on it should have given us a little bit better comms. PQRP. Found ya. Right, signal details, okay. Antenna alignment, it's pretty damn good. So it's got more capacity than it could possibly need, so we are good. Now while we're here, we'll check and make sure that Camel has come back onto the network because it had a little bit of an issue before. Still not on, so we'll go to camel itself and we'll reboot that nano beam. I should change that to a power beam given how far it's trying to throw, but it's not too bad. Right, restart. Right, we'll pop out towards camel and we'll have a look at that, eyeball it and see if it's all good and anything else we need to change. So we're going to go around that puddle and keep going. Alrighty. Yeah, it is nice and warm and dry. It's bloody just about 1 o'clock in the arvo, but just gonna have a quick look here at camel. I got it working again by rebooting it from the remote site, so the Parsons. What do we got? Yep. Hasn't had the relay mod yet. Wonder if I've got a spare relay on the ute. Alright, no go on the relay. I used that at Rock and Roll the other night when I couldn't get to Warren's. And I did a very good job of unloading everything when I got back in the other night. And then this morning I cleared off all the comms gear because I wanted the extra space. So, oh well, that wasn't what we're coming out here to do, but that's one to write in my notebook. And we're just going to crack on down to the exploration camp. Okay, we are down here at the Camp Dusty, and on some of my summer jobs is to put up a new camera for them so that the guys know that it's all nice and secure, but also gives them a good one for if someone doesn't show up or whatever, just as a security, like a safety measure for them as well. So we've got that. So that's on the list, but here's our little solar trailer set up. Now, we've been having a bit of a discussion about if we actually need to grab this trailer right now because we might make a different plan for a stores run that just... so our plans have changed just a little bit again. But yeah, the tank is full and the guys set these up on a couple of taps across the board. And let's have a look at their little setup that they've got. They've got them as like a bottom fill equalisation. So these tanks are full. That one's a little bit low, but it's going to be not until January 20th or something that they're needing to use these ones. Now, we could always put a really big tank here down for them and it would have 3 times the capacity, because this is only a 15,000. We've got a 50,000 litre tank that we could drop here. But this trailer is Jasmine and my little town runner, supply runner, and it's got the 2 really big panels on it for doing the drive down to Cal. I want to spin it around and just have one big panel on it. So I'm going to come down and drop a new frame here to hold the batteries in it. Now, it's got lead acid batteries in here. These old, well, not even old, they're brand new N70s, and they've been doing the job. But if I switch it over to lithium, it'll increase their pump time as well. But I'll have a look at if I've got a lithium to spare for that. So yeah, effectively I know now what I'm gonna have to do is make a frame up, come down, transfer what I need to transfer across, even if I don't put a battery solution in at the moment, get our trailer home and do some work on this before we do a stores run. Yeah, nice and sorted. Right, what you got?
A little lizard down here. He's just been eating a dead wasp that it's found. He's here, look, there he is. Oh, cheeky thing.
Hey bud, how you doing there?
We want to. Can you come?
Can you get him?
Oh, cheeky.
You gotta be quick, Verety.
Cheeky little thing.
No, you can't. Yeah, you gotta hold it out this way and away from you a bit.
That is a very cheeky little lizard because it just got under its hole and we couldn't grab it because it was underground, and it was a cheeky little gecko or lizard.
Right, so we'll leave him to it and we're going to crack on home. We've got our plan, we've got a swimming pool.
Yep.
We want to go for a swim, do we?
Yep.
It's been pretty warm, so going to go check a little bit of the road and then yeah, we'll be on our way home.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's mount up. Verety and I have popped out to finders keepers here because I reckon I'll grab this equipment to go to the mining camp. But when we've gotten here, we've got a whole load of water
Around.
spilling out of it. So that's a little annoying. We'll have a look and see what's happened. I reckon the tank sensor's been disconnected. Looks like it's been chewed. I'm just gonna see how the water is because yeah, it's still not great. Now we had set this bore up and this was the one where I went around with a metal detector to find the old bore from the expiration, and we put it out to you guys to name it. So yeah, there's puddles and stuff around here, but yeah, this is not ideal. The water isn't that great. It's a little bit salty, and that's why the cattle haven't been really drinking here much. But yeah, that's a fair bit of water on the ground. But then again, we are going to decommission it, and I'll pull some gear from it, like that camera unit, and the tank can stay here for a little while, but I'll take that solar frame over to the camp itself. You can see the salt forming up on the edges here. The cattle have been wandering around here because there is a bit of a smell, but they've mainly been drinking out of the puddles that we drove past. So yeah, we could get past here and out to here so I can bring the army truck down and load everything up and do that in one foul swoop. I've also already got a bar, drill rod as part of this frame across the middle. So if we do want to put the extra battery, so the 48-volt battery on here, we'll be able to put a bracket on and a drum over it. Right, well, let's see if we've got any other interesting tracks around here, Verity. You can see the scald, the salt out on there.
Mostly hard.
Yep. Mostly cow tracks, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's come around here. I also saw a little like river in it. Because it's like over here, got a bit of a cool river. Yeah, you can feel the salt too. Must only be our tracks and the cow tracks.
Yep. That's what I reckon. It's just cows that have been here. None of the humpy big fellas. Oh well, that's that. Flick that off and we'll keep on ticking home. Rightio, well, we are about 4 kilometres from home, and that's pretty much going to wrap our day up. It's set my plan for what I'm going to do to get that trailer in terms of putting a power supply there and sorting out the camera for the camp. So yeah, it's not been a bad day. It has been pretty warm. It cracked out 42 degrees earlier, and yeah, it hasn't been entirely unpleasant. Mainly we've been in the car, so that's a good way to escape it. But yeah, that's been a good day. We've had a good look around, seen where there's some water sitting about, and also where cattle are coming in, which is a bit of a surprise in some spots. And no camels. Yeah. But that's, it's no surprise really. The amount of water and feed out there, just like our cows, they're going to be nicely spread out and pretty happy. But that means that they will be in pretty good condition when we do come across them, because it's not been a hard year, which means a lot more meat for cooking. So I'm, we're ready and always keen. So thanks for joining us today as we've flitted about, made a few small things happen, and hopefully we knock over those dogs. And we'll keep on ticking through little bits and pieces as we go through this summer. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one that we do. Rightio. Cheers. Right, so this one's jumping in to the video where Verety and I were putting the dog baits. So this is the little post-credits reel on, assessing and checking if the baits have been taken. And here we have the tree that we call the dogweed tree, and that's been dug up quite recently. So just while I'm here, I'm going to cruise over and have a look at the other 2 spots. Now, we did see the dog, or a dog, on the camera, and that was 2 nights after we had put the baits out here. So as I'm just cruising along at pace, because I've got another job I'm doing, I'm just having a little glance down to see if I've got any obvious dog tracks along here. But at this time of day, it's not really going to be showing us that much. We've got a lot of the small animal tracks, but you know, the cows will have been in. So I'm going to pop over to this other tree and see if that's been dug up as well. And it has. So that's 2 out of 3 that have been dug up. And let's just have a quick look at position number 3. All right, a lot of lizard activity around this one. So number 3 looks like it's been mainly touched up by lizards. Now, what I don't like about baits is, you know, unlike a trap or unlike a bullet, you don't have that instant confirmation that you have hit the target. So yeah, no direct confirmation of the kill. The dog could be a couple 100 meters out, if not more, from when they've taken the bait. And then it comes down to a whole load of things in regards to how long it's taken that bait to kick in. So the only thing we're going to be able to do is basically keep monitoring the cameras, and if we see a dog again, well, it's still alive.